We have a lot to get to today, and we're going to get to all of the news in a second. Matt, how are you doing, buddy? Real quick, how's your day been?
It's been a day. I've been up since 5 a.m. and I got to be up at 6 a.m. So, yay.
Oh, shoot. Okay, well, we have a lot to talk about. We're not going to take up too much of your time, but
I don't care.
I just want to get into this now. Get the negative, positive, which I'm sure you know what we're hinting at. Hasbro, I just have a few questions for you.
Oh,
right?
God.
If you're listening, of course. That is if you're listening, which you probably are not. Why is it so hard to release your figures in a timely fashion in accordance with the TV shows and movies that you release? I just want to know, why is that so difficult? Can you please answer that for me? And also another thing, why can't you put figures on the shelf around this kind of small holiday called Christmas, where people are going to be buying these figures for their kids and for their husbands and for their wives? And can you just answer me that question? Because Marvel did not have that problem. We got Sam Wilson, Captain America, 2 weeks after that episode aired. And now
we got the child about 2 weeks, or excuse me, we got the Black Series child about a month after the show, or a couple weeks after the show finished. So like only a month and a half after it aired.
No, don't defend them. Don't defend them. We got season 2 of Mando a year ago, like almost a year ago, and we've had like 0 figures going with season 2. And now at Hasbro PostCon, they announced.
No, that is not true. We got Bo-Katan.
Oh my God, Bo-Katan. Yes, we did get Bo-Katan. I'll give them that. But
and Costa Reeves.
Let me finish. They announced Bill Burr. I've been wanting Bill Burr since I knew Bill Burr was in Star Wars, which was 2 years ago in season 1, right? Cobb Vanth, another huge character we've been waiting on. Boba Fett in his robes. I know we're going to get Boba Fett later with the Book of Boba Fett. I would assume this year. But Hasbro, you never know these days. But anyway, I just want to understand why. What's going on, Jeremy? Why? Like, why are we waiting a whole year and a half to get figures from a show that aired last November? Just answer me that question. Why? And then we can't pre-order. We cannot pre-order the figures we've been waiting on. Bill Burr cannot be pre-ordered today with the rest of the ones that got announced. Oh yeah, Cobb Vanth, we got that one. But that one should have been, both of those should have been a whole year ago.
To be fair, also keep this in mind. They have had their hands full with the Lucasfilm 50th anniversary stuff this year when it comes to Hasbro. So it's let's not pretend this year's been a normal year in terms of collecting. It was with Black Series of Vintage Collection, because we've had those Lucasfilm 50th anniversary stuff. I mean, you had Bad Batch. They've done in a timely manner. It's just they focused on the newer properties and the big celebration rather than let me give you more of Mando season 2. Think about this. We still have only had one Rise of Skywalker figure, Toby.
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up, because that was going to be another thing. We have not gotten Rey with yellow lightsaber, the Rey Skywalker figure. We didn't get a Finn. We didn't get a single Finn from Rise of Skywalker. We've got no Ben Solo, no Palpatine.
We literally only got Rey and Kylo Ren and a Knight of Ren.
Yeah, and the Sith Trooper or whatever.
Well, yeah, the Sith Troopers, Zori Bliss, C-3PO, which was that Target exclusive, Rey and and that's in the old packaging. In the new packaging, we've only gotten Dark Side Red. The old packaging, we got like 7 or 8, possibly. That's it.
Like, I would love either a 2-pack or just individual Luke and Leia from the flashback. Like, what are we doing? Like, these just printing money if you put those out, but they refuse.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit, Jeremy.
Yeah, we would definitely get to that a little bit later. So I just want to get this out of the way. Why Hasbro just continues to irk me with the way they run their brand. And again, Christmas time, like, all of those figures that they announced, it was all spring 2022, summer 2022. Nothing in time for Christmas. No presents under the tree. No Mando figures under the tree for anyone. No Rise of Skywalker figures under the tree for anyone. Like, what are they doing? I don't get it.
They're focusing on the like, and this is something a lot of Black Series figures Black Series figure collectors complain about. The fact of the matter is, the vintage collection gets more love.
And I understand that it's cheaper to make, it's cheaper to release, and you can collect more of those, right? Because they're all within series, and the way the cards are organized, they all look nice and neat on your wall. Like, I get that, but just for the love of God, like I went to Walmart the other day because I needed to buy soap, and no Star Wars section in the toy aisle. That's gone. There's nothing there.
It's like 4 pegs.
Like
it's literally 4 pegs. It's the same
what
my Walmart.
Do it like Lego. I'll give you Lego.
Target's done the same thing. Target's done the same thing.
I just don't understand. We are in the prime of Star Wars right now, or we're about to enter like Star Wars in its prime under the Disney umbrella, right? We have so many shows. They announced 11 new shows coming in within the next few years. We might as well just get into that as our first news topic. 11 new shows with the ones we're already know we're getting, right? Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, right? Book of Boba Fett. I'm sure those count as part of the 11, but you're looking at like 5, 6, 7 shows that we don't even know about. Yeah. That we're gonna be seeing. Hopefully,
and we know that the Rangers show got canceled.
Yeah, that's gone.
That's gone. But like, so here's what we do know. We know Obi-Wan and Orlando, Ahsoka, and Book of Boba Fett. So like that's 5. It's 5 of 11 right there. Wait, and then there's that droid show coming out. I guess that counts.
Droid show, and then
Acolyte. So
Acolyte, Bad Batch, probably.
No, this is why Bad Batch was over. That's when that story came out.
Okay.
So that leaves you with 4 other shows that we don't know about yet.
I wonder what. I mean, we can go ahead and recklessly speculate. Like, what do you think these are going to be? Mostly animated, mostly live action.
I think maybe 2 of each. I think probably 2 of each is a safe bet. I think that rumored Finn show is going to happen.
Yeah, I was going to say I would really, really hope we get something post Rise of Skywalker. I feel like it's time, and we know that John Boyega wants to do it. Yeah, according to that report from a few months ago. I imagine Daisy Ridley would want to be involved in some
considering
capacity.
Things have been slow for her.
Right. She hasn't been getting anything, which I don't understand. Like, she's a great actress. Or maybe she just wanted to take time off after shooting, those 3 films. Like, I would understand that too. Yeah. But 4 new shows coming down the pipe. Hopefully we can get something announced in November at Disney Plus Day.
I mean, I wouldn't mind if you gave Katie Sackhoff her own show and talked about how she lost this.
You just wanted to flex that. Like, you literally just brought that up just so you could flex. Yes, we know, or at least I know. You got the dark saber.
I was wondering. I'm like, when are we doing this? The bit, okay?
Very subtly, just playing with it under your lap while we've been doing the show. Like, I know that the fans heard it. They knew. It's very nice, Matthew. I'm very proud for you.
You're just jealous. Let's be honest.
Oh, whatever. Just a little bit. Jeremy, I think Finn live action show would be cool. Explore some Stormtrooper backstory. Yeah, I would think that would be a wise choice on their part to do, get a little bit more of his Stormtrooper backstory, why he decided to leave, and then obviously do whatever he's up to post Rise of Skywalker as well.
His history and because something we were told is we're going to find out who Finn's family is, and we never learned that. And that's still something that bugs me.
See, no, you don't need to always know who their family is.
See, I don't care. But here's the thing. I don't care if it's new characters. I'm not saying he's got to be related to someone. Mm-hmm. I just want to, because this is me wanting to have a stereotype bucked. Your Black character doesn't know where he's from.
Okay. All right.
So for me, as a Black man, I want to see him find his home, who he belongs with, his family, and all of that.
No, I could definitely see that being a possibility.
That's
yeah, you cut out there for a second, but no, I hear you. That would probably be a wise choice on their part to give him, that kind of closure from a character's perspective, like where his family is, if they're alive, that whole thing. I think that would be good. And then obviously post Rise of Skywalker, I kind of want to know what the Republic looks like, right? I hope they give us a little bit of that. Maybe find out what Rey is up to, what Poe is up to. I would really like to catch up with all of those characters in some capacity, whether it be a Finn show or a Rey show, like whatever they decide to do, whatever story they decide to tell. I just want to know what those characters are up to because I care about them, and we haven't seen anything from them since Rise of Skywalker aired a couple years ago. But yeah, I mentioned earlier, November 11th is going to be the big Disney Plus event day where they show us some trailers. 12th. November 12th, right? I'm sorry. Where they announce, some new shows. Hopefully we get some trailers. I know for a fact we're getting a Boba Fett documentary thingy mabob. Yes. It's called Underneath the Helmet, I think, is something like that. And it's going to be a mini doc about the character, and it's how it's going to tie into the Book of Boba Fett. And that's when we're going to get the trailer for Book of Boba Fett. So I'm very, very excited to see a trailer for that. But we did get a little bit of a tease in the new Book of Boba Fett poster. We got this probably 4 weeks ago or so.
Yeah,
that just kind of dropped on Instagram like early that morning. And I'm just going to say it. Boba Fett on the throne might be like a top 5 just Star Wars image for me, like all time. Like it's just so sick. Like that, the way they ended Mando season 2 with just that image teasing, the Book of Boba Fett show, and that they're gonna continue to use that image throughout the marketing and hopefully into the show as well. Like Boba Fett sitting on Jabba's throne is just, it's already iconic, and he looks so sweet in the poster. Got a little bit of a new outfit. So yeah, that got me so excited just with that image, because I mean his costume has been iconic for 40 years, right?
Yes.
And has spawned an entire creed of people, an entire planet, an entire show. Like there would not be a Mandalorian show without Boba Fett. And for him to get his own show finally is really great. The poster reminds me of Yes. And I really hope they give us kind of a Game of Thrones feel with this show. As a huge Game of Thrones fan, hey Jessica, what's going on?
Hi Jess.
As a huge Game of Thrones fan, I was hoping Mandalorian would have a Game of Thrones feel, and I think season 3 is going to be that, assuming they go back to Mandalore and they start to really kind of figure out how they're going to get their planet back. But no, you're right.
Speaking of that, there's a rumor, confirm, and this was put on my radar by my buddy who's a part of the Mercs. There's a rumor floating around that Lucasfilm is looking for Mercs similar to how they looked for members of the 501st in season 1 for something involving Mandalorian season 3. So
it's coming. It's coming. I mean, again, these are all kind of tying together, but we got confirmation by Carl Weathers himself that Mando season 3 is officially filming. We've been talking about it for months. When are they filming? Are they filming? Are they secretly filming? They are officially filming, and that's really exciting to hear. I'm still thinking we're going to get it probably Thanksgiving, Christmas of next year. I just think it makes sense to have Mandalorian or any Star Wars property in general be released around Christmas time. At least the flagship show be released around Christmas time. They just go together perfectly since Force Awakens released in 2015. So that's what I'm thinking. But either way, the show's filming, which means we're that closer to getting season 3. So that's really exciting.
Yeah. I overall, I'm excited. It's gonna suck. It's a year without Mando. Realistically, it will have been 2 years since we saw how Mando ended before we get a new episode.
Right. Well, I really do believe Book of Boba Fett will give us something.
It'll scratch that itch. But what I mean is
it's gonna be obviously a very Boba Fett centric show, underworld show, not really gonna tie into the overall story of the Mandalorian. But I would not be surprised if Din Djarin shows up. Like I would not be surprised one bit.
No, I wouldn't either.
You don't even need Pedro to be there. Like if it's just for a cameo or for one episode, I mean, he can do the voiceover on his phone. Yeah. Like it's really, I mean, he's filming Last of Us right now, so we know he's pretty busy. But I mean, with technology nowadays, like he could literally record his lines.
Last of Us is on hiatus, so he's on set for season 3 of The Mandalorian. Last of Us only filmed their pilot, and then they go back in for actual filming at the beginning of 2022.
Is that right? I did not know that. And I'm a huge Last of Us fan. Like these set leaks I've been seeing. Oh boy, I'm excited for that show as well. But okay, so if that's the case, then knowing Pedro's on set Mando season 3, that feels good because I hope we see more and more of him with the helmet off. I hope he's kind of put that part of himself away for good. Like he doesn't need to wear his helmet all the time. Like he can be himself. Like I really hope we do see that in season 3 because it's just part of his character growth. Like he doesn't need to be a part of that, the Watch Creed anymore. Like he's the leader of Mandalore now, right? Like that's a big deal, whether he wants to be or not. So he's gonna have to take that helmet off.
He's got this, right?
Yeah.
And he won it fair and square.
Yeah, he did. I am predicting a Jon Snow type of arc for him. And I know that there's still a whole lot of story to be told. But Jon Snow was always told, like, you would be a great leader, you'd be a great king. He's like, no, I don't want to be. Like, that's not who I am. And I see something very similar for Din, where he has the Darksaber, and all the Mandos are going to be telling him, you're the leader, you're going to be a good leader. He's like, no, I don't want to be. I just lost my son. Like, I want to go get drunk at a cantina somewhere.
And I think honestly that's what we're going to end up getting, with one significant difference. He actually accepts the responsibility, unlike Snow, who was still able to get away with not having that responsibility ultimately.
Right. So, Book of Boba Fett coming very, very, very soon, and that
December.
Trailer,
I think we got a date. I think it's December.
It's December 26th. I thought it was like the day after Christmas. I thought
the 20. I think it's the 29th.
Oh yeah. You're right. Like 2 days before 2022. So just sneak it in there.
The only reason I remember that is because it's my brother's birthday, and he even said Disney gave me a hell of a birthday gift. But I will have seen like the first episode probably like a week or two before that. So,
are you saying that you would not share that with me? Is that what you're saying? If you got an early little look at the show, you wouldn't share?
I mean,
boy,
I don't know.
I actually don't know if I would even want that, because I want to see it like whenever a new Star Wars anything comes out. I mean, maybe excluding Visions, because Visions was just kind of the side piece. Yeah. Any big Star Wars thing, especially now with it being mostly TV shows and Disney Plus, like all the lights go out. I light a candle. I lock my door. I get in my bed,
and
it's just
starts playing with the lightsaber.
I like throw my phone like in a drawer somewhere. Like I don't need that, and I just zone out. Like that's just part of
Toby. You what you just described, buddy.
What? That's my Star Wars watching ritual. Do you not do the same thing?
No, it sounds like you're playing with your lightsaber.
Okay, that is not what I meant. Very different.
That's why I was like, the moment you said light a candle, I was like, huh?
I like candles. What's wrong with that?
To light.
Anyway, moving on. We got another announcement, and this is something that maybe most people might not care about, but
me and Toby
we got some novel news. Like we got some novel news, and we're gonna be getting some stories that I have been waiting for a long time. Pretty long time.
Because I remember we all freaked out. We're like, "Yo, this is what we've wanted."
And like, I'm just gonna admit, I am a horrible reader. Like, I mean, I can read books. Like, I'm good at reading, but I'm bad at like reading consistently, because there's just too many distractions as an adult to just like sit down and read a book for like 3 hours. I'm like still reading Rising Storm right now. Like that book came out months ago, and I still haven't finished it yet because I just too much going on. But these books that were announced, at least a couple of them, Shadows of the Sith, that's the first one.
Which is the Luke and Lando story taking place between Return of Jedi and Force Awakens.
That's the one right there. Yep. That's the one. I cannot wait.
Then you have Brotherhood, which is the Kenobi and Anakin story, aka our new version of this.
Yep.
But this is by Mike Chen instead. Then you have Stories of Jedi and Sith. which is just it seems like it's 10 10 acclaimed authors imagine all new tales of some of the saga's most popular characters, epic standoffs, cunning plots, courageous action, and ruthless anger. Then you have Padawan, which is one I'm really interested in. Which is Obi-Wan struggles with his place in the Force as a young Padawan in this coming-of-age adventure. The reason I'm interested in that is because I don't know if you remember the Judy Watson series from the early 2000s. Granted, you were probably still a baby then.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about because whenever I would go to the library as a kid, I would literally just run to the Star Wars section, and those were some of the first chapter books I read as a kid. Were those what were they called? Were they just called like Jedi Apprentice?
That was the Jedi Apprentices. So it was Judy Blunden, I think it was. But yeah, Jedi Apprentice, The Rising Force. That was the first one. I held on to that book for as long as I can. I think I might still own it. I'm not sure. But yeah, the Jedi Apprentice series. Those were some of the first chapter books I read, and then the same writer carried on with ones because that's all between when Obi-Wan first meets Qui-Gon to where we end up in episode 1. Then there's Jedi Quest, which was the sequel series, which was between episodes 1 and 2. And then I don't think there was a third series, but
no, in terms of the ones that they just got announced.
There was a third series. It is The Last Jedi.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That one was short-lived.
I remember that. No, because I still see that book at like Barnes and Noble sometimes. Like if I'm just like looking around, like I'll see that one, and be like, "Ha!"
I remember. Yeah, I remember. Like, wait, when Last Jedi was announced as the title for episode 8, it was like, wait a minute.
You're right. Yeah. But no. Anyway, with these novels that just got announced, and they won't be released till probably early mid 2022.
Yeah, we have release dates for all of them.
Oh, great. Go ahead and read those off.
So the release dates are, we'll go backwards order because I'm at the bottom. July 26, 2022 for Padawan, June 7th, 2022 for Stories of Jedi and Sith, May 10th, 2022 for Brotherhood, and June 28th for Shadow of the Sith.
Okay, so early summer for those releases. And I want to start with the Anakin and Obi-Wan book. Because that I know I said that the Luke Lando was the one, but this is the other one.
Yes.
Because there's so much, there's still some missing pieces with their story, right? Like we see a whole lot of time, we spent a whole lot of time with them in the Clone Wars. But by that point, the war has been going on for a few months, right?
Yeah.
Anakin has already been knighted, and they're just the best of friends, right? And this is supposed to take place immediately after episode 2. Like, no, like there is some story there that we have not seen. There is maybe some reconciliation that they go through. I want to see Anakin get knighted. I want to see Anakin make the iconic Skywalker lightsaber. We still haven't seen that story anywhere because we know he loses his Padawan lightsaber in Attack of the Clones. And then he shows up with the most iconic lightsaber of all time and it's just poof, like out of nowhere. I want to see that story. I want to see what the early looks of the Clone Wars, because again, when the Clone Wars starts, hold on. When the Clone Wars starts, it's a full out war. Like all the planets are fighting each other, and it's very organized. The clones are organized. Like it didn't just get to that point. Like I want to see like from Attack of the Clones, like how like okay, we are at war now. We have all these clones who we've known for 15 minutes. We don't even know where they came from. Like most of the Jedi don't even know where they came from. Now all of a sudden they're generals. Like there's so much there that I want to see told, and I hope that's told in the story.
You're forgetting the most important part. This is going to be the story that finally tells us what happened on Canto Nemoidia.
Yeah. We've heard that since 2005. We didn't know what that was.
On Canto Nemoidia doesn't count.
That doesn't count. Yeah, and I love that little moment between them because of maybe the way the stories were written, George's directing. it's hard to believe that Anakin and Obi-Wan are just the best of friends. They're brothers in Revenge of the Sith. We see more of that relationship, develop and grow in the Clone Wars. But that little moment between them is one of the little glimpses of like them just kind of, joking around, like, yeah, you saved me from that one thing and I still owe you one. Like I love that little moment. I can't wait to see what that was.
Yeah.
But moving on to the one. This is the one, man. We've been waiting on, like a post Return of the Jedi, Luke and his prime story, and it being with Lando after that big tease in Rise of Skywalker, where Lando's like, yeah, I was with him when they were running to hunt that Sith guy. So then this is going to be telling that story of them tracking him down, seeing what he's up to, and supposedly having a run-in with Rey's parents. They don't know it's Rey's parents at that time, obviously, because Rey's just a little girl, but helping Rey's parents, run away from this guy who's hunting Rey's parents down. So just so much meaty story here that I can't wait to get into.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited for that. I was very curious. Part of me is hoping we get it as a TV show. Just animated TV show, because you can still get away with Mark Hamill at that point. Or you can just use that tech you used for freaking Mando,
right?
Not the de-aging tech, but the voice tech that you use for Mando,
right?
Because I wouldn't know. I wouldn't be able to tell.
No, you bring up a good point where maybe that story is too important to throw in a novel, but maybe that's just such an iconic. I mean, Luke is just such an iconic character, and they do not want to mess that up in a show. They don't want to take that risk. So maybe putting it in a novel that only a handful of people are going to read. That way, if the story isn't, up to snuff, it's just like, oh, it was just a novel. It's whatever. And then maybe they can go back and move some things around, not necessarily retcon, but, maybe try to make it fit a little bit better. So maybe it's just less risk putting it in a novel. But no, you're right. I would have liked to have seen that story in some type of TV show fashion, whether it be animated or live action. But with this Lando show, maybe we can see some glimpses of Luke and Lando's relationship, because they don't really have a huge relationship that we've seen. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that we don't see a whole lot of, Luke and Lando on screen just being, the best of buds. So I would really like to see how they went from just kind of acquaintances in the original trilogy to like Luke's going to go on this very important mission, and Lando's like, you know what, I'm going to tag along. And Luke is like, yeah, I need you for this.
Right.
So I would like to see how that comes to be.
Yeah. I just came across a story that you and I both forgot about that I'm just like, oh yeah.
Oh no. We've missed a lot, guys. We apologize. It's been rough.
The new game being developed by Quantic Dream, the developers of Detroit Become Human.
Oh yeah. Are they not, like, I saw on Twitter that they are literally ready to, they have a trailer, like they are ready.
I didn't hear that. But...
I heard from somewhere, whether it be Reddit or Twitter, and I know that those aren't reliable sources, but that they have a trailer ready. They have a marketing campaign ready for this thing. They're just waiting on the green light from Lucasfilm. So
yeah, so this is the story, according to sources tied to Kotaku. The gameplay of the new title will be more dynamic than any other of Quantum Dream's previous titles. According to our source, Quantic Dream has been indeed working on a Star Wars game for approximately a year and a half, but it won't be the conventional type of quick time event-driven game we've come to expect from the French studio. Instead, they said it will be more traditional action gameplay and possibly even open world and multiplayer elements.
I mean, that's all great and lovely, but I just want to know, again, story. Where is it taking place? Who's the character? Give me that stuff. And I don't necessarily need a trailer right now, because we didn't even know this game existed till, a few weeks ago. So like, just give us some, a little tidbit of what we're getting. But if you have a trailer ready, by God, put it out. Like get the gaming community excited for Star Wars again. It's been 2 years since Fallen Order. And I know we just got the Old Republic, remake announced, and that's a big deal, but we're not getting that for a long time.
Yeah.
And I'm not playing Battlefront 2 anymore. I've beat Jedi Fallen Order 6 times. Like I'm done. Like I've done all there is to do in that game. Like give me something else, man. Like, we're starving over here. I know we got all these shows and novels announced that we're going to be getting very, very soon, but like there's something about playing a Star Wars video game. Like My
Because
brother.
you feel like you're a part of the story, even though you're not the character in it.
Mm-hmm.
Playing it makes you feel more connected to it.
Yeah, like my brother just found an old PS2 and got it hooked up, and I was going through my old games, and I found all these old Star Wars games that we were just getting left and right from like 2006 to like 2010.
Yeah.
Like literally just so many great games that we were spoiled. And I know that it's a different time now. Games take a long time to make, but by God, like your Star Wars, for crying out loud. Like
See,
we should
they
be
took a
getting
long
Star
time
Wars
to make
games
back in the
consistently.
day. Also, it's just when you're kids and you had the studio itself cranking out 3 or 4 different games a year. It didn't seem like it was that long.
No, you're right, but you get what I mean. It's been 2 years since Fallen Order, and we've heard nothing from a sequel. We've not heard about any other games,
Yeah.
except these little small, like, cell phone games and, these
Yeah.
PC games. These just little small stuff. Like, I want like big. Give me the big stuff. But
You want something you
hopefully
can
soon.
do right away. You want something you can do now because you're just dying without it.
I mean, not necessarily. Like, I just want some information, I guess is what I mean. Like, give us. I know you have it. You know what you're making, Lucasfilm Games. Like, you know what you're working on right now. Just tell us and be like, yeah, it's gonna be a minute, might be another year or so, but just tell us what you're working on so we can talk about it on shows like this and get excited. That's all. Or give us the game now. That would work too. In time for Christmas. That would be lovely. But we know how Lucasfilm is. They don't time things very well.
Yeah, just be glad it's not the games aren't exclusively EA anymore. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, that's true. That is a good thing. But you know what? I think we've held off long enough. I think we've talked about pretty much everything.
Oh, you still got
I wanted to talk about. Oh yeah, Kumail Nanjiani. Supposedly, his character's huge. It's a big deal in the Obi-Wan show. I mean, I love the guy. Like he's great. I'm so happy he's in Star Wars. But yeah, that's basically it. He has a significant role.
I'm trying to think. Is that it? Is that it? Oh, quick thoughts on Visions. He and I basically, it was fine. It was fine.
Oh yeah, a new Star Wars came out, and we didn't really get to talk about it because life happens. I really enjoyed Star Wars Visions. There were a couple episodes that I really loved. Specifically, the Ninth Jedi. I thought was brilliant.
This is the other story.
Oh yeah, hold on. We still have a couple things to get to.
That's why I was like, Toby.
Slow down, pump the brakes.
Toby,
Pump the brakes.
Toby.
No, I loved Visions. Ninth Jedi, my favorite episode by far. I loved the twist. The twist got me good. Like in spoiler alert if you haven't watched Visions, but all these Jedi show up.
It's literally been a month to the day. It is the 22nd. So
yeah, it's been a minute.
Spoiler. Go ahead. Don't no spoiler warning. Don't avoid spoilers. This has been a month. Go ahead.
Okay, so in the Ninth Jedi, right? You have this takes place like in the future, like future. Like Jedi are a myth again, right? There's only a few of them out there. They don't have any lightsabers because no one knows how to make them anymore. But this one guy is like in a cave, like making these lightsabers, and he sends out a beacon like into the galaxy, like, hey Jedi, I'm making you lightsabers. Come get them. Come use them. Right? I'm collecting too many. Like I need to give these to people to use. And so on this planet, all these Jedi show up, and they're just kind of just like in the waiting room, just like, where is this guy with our lightsabers? Like, he sent us over here like a few days ago, and we've just been waiting, and they're just kind of showing up left and right. A long story short, they get the lightsabers and they turn them on, and they're red. And I was just like, like what? Like I did not see that coming. And anyway, I highly recommend just watch the episode, watch all of Visions. It's really fun Star Wars. It's weird, it's different, but that's what we need sometimes. So the Ninth Jedi, my personal favorite episode. Supposedly, the creators have an idea for how they can continue the story, and I want to see that. A whole show.
A full show on this. I have the entire thing mapped out. I know where I want to go. And it was like, I would be interested, but at the same time, I know how anime goes. And we could be looking at 400 episodes of television. And I'm not about that life. I don't need to be watching this into my 40s.
Yeah, no, I hear you there. But out of all of the stories that we got from Visions, I think Ninth Jedi is one primed for some more. And then the first episode the duel, which we got in a novel, which I definitely want to try to get to at some point. But those two there were the ones that stuck out to me the most, and I liked the most.
The other one for me that stuck out, that's an easy continuation, is The Elder.
The Elder, yeah. The Elder, I know you haven't really gotten to the High Republic stuff. The Elder felt very, very High Republic to me, right? And the relationship between the two Jedi in the show, I don't remember their names, but their relationship was very, very similar to a relationship that we see in the High Republic. And so I could definitely see them continuing that story. Again, we don't know where a lot of these stories take place, but I think that one is prime to be continued on in a High Republic story. But those are our quick thoughts on Visions and update on potential Visions sequels. And I hope we see them, because I thought Visions was very successful just by what I saw on social media. I saw a lot of people talking about it, a lot of people digging it. And I had a conversation at a bar with a friend about how, anime fans who weren't really into Star Wars are now into Star Wars because of Visions. And also a lot of Star Wars fans who weren't really into anime are now really into anime because of Visions. So Visions has been a huge bridge between the anime and Star Wars community, which are huge communities already, and just continuing to make it bigger. So I thought Visions, from that perspective, was a very successful show. And from a content perspective, I thought it was very successful. Well, as a couple episodes I didn't love, like they were just whatever, but
the final episode really pissed me the hell off.
Yeah, I didn't love the final episode. It was kind of boring. And
somebody's like, it's like Empire. I'm like, no, because this is supposed to be a standalone series. Why are you giving me something like Empire, especially when it's not that good?
Yeah. I like I said, not all of it was just great, but as a whole, as Star Wars Visions as a whole, the first season, I really enjoyed, and I hope they do a season 2, whether it be continuing with these characters or brand new stories. It doesn't matter to me. I think that anime has a place in Star Wars, and we should continue to see that moving forward. Hopefully, maybe part of those 11 shows that they teased about seeing in the future. I think season 2 would be really, really well welcomed in the Star Wars community, the anime community. So hopefully we see more down the road.
I mean, I could deal with some of it, I guess, even though you and I, we were watching those first few episodes the one night, like, okay, we're not the biggest anime people, but
and Visions came out in a good time because it had been a few months released post Bad Batch, right? And a few months before we get Book of Boba Fett. So there was not a whole lot of Star Wars going on when Visions came out. So it came out at a perfect time for us, Star Wars fans who were, kind of hungry, like give us some Star Wars. Perfect timing. But because of what 2022 looks like, and maybe 2023, I don't know where Visions would fit there. I think Visions would kind of get snuck under the rug because we're getting Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, Andor, Mando season 3, and so much other stuff coming. So maybe that's something that might have to wait a little bit. You maybe find, one of those times where not a lot of Star Wars is coming out, and then boom, Vision season 2. So that could be an option as well.
We've been spoiled. We are just getting a ton.
I know. So much stuff. 2022 is going to be insanity. And I talked about it last time we did a show. Like poor Alex Damon at Star Wars Explained. How on earth is he going to get all this content and break it down?
As long as he's making money off YouTube, I don't think he cares.
I mean, I still feel bad. Like, is he gonna sleep? Like between the High Republic stuff, like that's taking up a lot of his time because there's just so much content, and that's just in the novels and in the comics. Like we're getting so much new shows, so much new novels.
At least shows are easier to get through.
I guess so, but my God, man, like we're gonna be busy. Like we missed 5 shows where no Star Wars is coming out. Can you imagine when there's a new Star Wars every week for 3 years in a row? Like that's gonna be crazy. But anyway, have I missed anything, Matt?
No, that was.
Are we done? Are we caught up?
We're caught up.
Okay. So I was at the gym today, right? Just doing my little workout. I get on Twitter and I see Hayden Christensen, and I'm like, what now? Like, what could he possibly be doing now? We know he's back in Obi-Wan. Like, what is this? Well, I'm pleased to announce that Hayden Christensen will indeed be returning as Anakin Skywalker again in the Ahsoka Tano show.
Yes.
Now, this is a big deal, right? This is a big
Yes.
deal because
We don't know where this show takes place.
we don't know what the show is even going to be. Like, we know that Ahsoka is looking for Ezra. I think that's pretty fair to kind of confirm that that's going to be the overall, mission for her in the show is got to find Ezra, got to fight Thrawn. Like, that's it, right? Are we going to see flashbacks? We don't know. Are we going to see, Force Ghost Anakin? Like, that could be a thing.
That's where my mind was actually going.
Yeah, see, and mine too. But again, I believe wholeheartedly that Lucasfilm has a plan with these shows, the animated shows, the live action shows. They are very much being told, in parallel. Like, they are trying to hint at things in these different shows, and they're all going to tie together in some capacity. So what I'm saying now is I think that, and we're going to see flashbacks of Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan. We're going to see a young Ahsoka and Obi-Wan, and they're probably going to cast someone new as a young Ahsoka. And then that relationship that we see in Obi-Wan will be carried over into Ahsoka.
$10 they just cast a younger actress and then do what they did with Darth Maul and Solo and let Ashley Eckstein voice over her.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad at that. It just depends how much screen time she's going to have, right? And again, I guess my point is having Anakin in the Ahsoka show it's just going to be a continuation of the story that they are telling with Anakin / Darth Vader and Obi-Wan. You know what I mean? So we're going to be going into Ahsoka with a whole lot of new knowledge about Anakin Skywalker and Darth Vader, his mindset. Again, this is assuming that he's just going to be a Force ghost. And the most exciting thing for me is that Ahsoka and Anakin are going to get some closure post Malachor. Because like we are all under the impression like the last time Ahsoka and Anakin communicate is on Malachor when they fight, right? And they almost kill each other. And something we've been kind of left with is like, oh, and does Ahsoka know that Anakin, redeems himself in Return of the Jedi? Like, does she know that? Does she feel that? Does she have a conversation with Anakin, when after he passes away about his struggle and how he came back and how Luke was the one who saved him? And just so much meaty story, so much meaty Star Wars potential here for him being in the show. And the fact that it's confirmed, like Rosario Dawson just confirmed it. So Anakin is going to be in Ahsoka. And we don't know what capacity, Force Ghost, flashbacks, both. But man, like I was already excited for the show because it's freaking Ahsoka, for crying out loud. But I'm just so warmed knowing that Hayden is like back. Like he's not just doing a cameo in Obi-Wan. He's not just doing Obi. Like he is back in Star Wars, and he's gonna be in it for a long time. And that's really, really freaking exciting because I didn't think it was gonna happen.
Now just give me Chloe Bennett as Sabine, and I'm happy.
Right? I mean, it's just so wild to me, like how far we've come since Revenge of the Sith. Like Revenge of the Sith came out, Hayden was Anakin one last time, and that was it. And, because of the reaction, he kind of went and hid, didn't have much of an acting career after that. And, like, he's always been a great guy. He's always been conventions.
Can't say he didn't. He had Jumper, he had Takers. He made enough money from Star Wars to just do the stuff he wanted.
That's true, yeah, and obviously he has a family and he wanted to spend time with his family, and he had the money to just go raise his family. His
wife and Rachel Bilson.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, I'll give you that maybe he chose to have a smaller career and he was just doing these little small things, but the guy's back. Like he's back and he's back for a while.
It's very considerable or very a good comparison for it. Robert Pattinson. Because after Star Wars, he did all the small stuff. Only difference is he took an elongated break on top of it. Robert Pattinson went back to after Twilight, went back to doing the smaller stuff, and then after some time, now he's coming back in a big way. Did Tenet? He's got Batman coming up, just like Hayden is doing Obi-Wan, and now he's got Ahsoka. So take away the elongated break Hayden took to have a family, and career just very similar choice and path.
And I'm just really curious the type of performance we're going to get from Hayden, You know what I mean? Because again, depending on which type of, maybe that's not the right word. Like, at what point in Anakin's story are we going to be seeing Hayden, pick up? Like, are we going to be seeing Hayden as Anakin, like Anakin Skywalker in the Clone Wars? Are we going to be seeing Hayden play Darth Vader in the suit? Or, maybe it's like an Iron Man situation where it's just like you just see his broken face inside, the suit, but Hayden's not necessarily in the suit. Are we going to see Hayden in a ghost form? I believe we're going to see all three, but how is his performance going to differ from those three? Because Anakin Skywalker as Darth Vader is going to be a whole lot different than Anakin Skywalker as a Force Ghost or Anakin Skywalker in the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
And because, Hayden had some acting issues, whether it's George's fault or his own fault.
It was George's fault.
Like, there was some line delivery that was rough in both movies, but there were some shades of brilliance in Revenge of the Sith. Like,
yes, there was.
There were some shades of like, oh, that this guy's got it. Like, this guy nailed it here, he nailed it there. And again, you mentioned it's the dialogue's fault, but
after he turns is a brilliant performance. It's everything before that isn't.
Yeah, I thought Hayden in the beginning of Revenge of the Sith, like the big, action set piece of them trying to save, the Chancellor. A lot of his stuff there was really, really good. But no, the more of the romantic stuff with Padme, that's where it gets really, really rough for me. But anyway, I know I'm kind of rambling here, but him being underneath, a very successful and acclaimed director is Deborah Chow. Like, what kind of performance is she going to get out of him? What kind of performance is Dave Filoni? If Dave Filoni is directing most of these, episodes in Ahsoka, what kind of performance is he going to get from him there? When Hayden got announced officially as Obi-Wan, I went back and watched some scenes of him recently in movies, like just like the one with him in I don't remember his name off the top of my head, but this like very small movie that came out a couple years ago. He was cool. Like, he was good in it. Like, he was good. So, like, the dude definitely has acting chops, and he's done some good performances recently, but him being, someone iconic as Anakin Skywalker is going to be a whole different ball game. So it's just going to be very interesting. The first time, whether it be in a trailer or they wait until the show comes out, the first time we see Hayden as Anakin again after damn near 20 years. Like, it's going to be something to see, man. And just the Twitter's reaction to him being in Ahsoka, like freaking Kid Cudi, like retweeted it. like this is a big deal. Like, I know we're going to see him in Obi-Wan first, but I mean, this just goes on to the bigger conversation. And I've said it a million times, like, Hayden Christensen is back in Star Wars, and he's going to be back for a while. And that is something. That's something.
Toby's just a happy boy today.
I'm happy. Like, I really am. I know I started out like bah humbug with Hasbro, and I'm still not over that. Like, I'm still shitty, but just we continue to get really, really good Star Wars news like week after week, it seems like. And man, 2022 cannot get here soon enough.
No, I'm with you there. I am with you there 110%.
And I saw something somewhere today that supposedly Obi-Wan is looking at a May release, like a May release for the start of the
June.
show.
I would say June, and you want to know why?
Because of Star Wars Celebration.
Precisely.
Either way,
you want to know what,
close.
Toby? You want to know where they'd want to show the first episode of that show?
Yeah. But it just goes on to, like, I know we have these types of conversations every show about
realistically. Yeah, you can't because Celebration is the 26th through 29th. So that June 1st, that would be, because if we're doing Wednesday release days, June 1st falls right into that late May. Granted, May 25th, the second Star Wars day of the month, is also a Wednesday. So
okay, so let's look at this November 12th, this Disney Plus event first before we wrap up. Do you think we see an Obi-Wan something
picture
on
of
that day?
That's about it, or a poster?
Because we know that
Lucasfilm.
We know Lucasfilm likes to keep trailers and footage and really anything very close to the chest. Like, Book of Boba Fett airs in 2 months, and we've seen nothing but a poster. We know we're getting the first trailer November 12th, which is, a little over a month before the show airs.
It's a Netflix model. You don't show anything until you get closer to it.
And I guess that's fine. The hype gradually, gets bigger and bigger, closer to it launching, obviously. But it's not like movies where you get a trailer a year before the trailer comes or before the movie comes out. Like, we're not really doing that anymore. So I think it would be really, really a big surprise to get an Obi-Wan teaser or a behind the scenes like they did with Andor at the last Disney Plus event. If they gave us that on top of the Book of Boba Fett trailer, oh boy, man, the hype train, choo-choo. Like the choo-choo for the hype train.
It will have left the station and Toby may be in orbit.
Yeah, I will have just levitated like out of this chair, just like floating in my room. No, man. So glad to be back doing the show. I know it's on a Friday night and it's super late, but I'm going to be in Cincinnati tomorrow, so there was no way we could do a show tomorrow, and I really did not want to.
He's
to put
visiting
this off
Cincinnati before he visits his fellow Watt boys.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm going to a concert, so I'm going to be in and out. I'm not going to have time to venture off and explore because I have been busy. I've been very busy, and I've had this concert on the calendar for a few months now.
For shame, Toby.
I'm sorry. But no, I'm very glad to be doing this show again. It was glad to catch up.
I will say it was primarily my doing as to why it was getting, because I just kept getting piled on work. Oh
man, that's life. That is life as an adult. Just things come up, and Saturday nights are hard. And would I prefer to do the show a different day? Yes, but here at Watt Entertainment, we have a whole lot of programming that has, that was there first, and I'm not gonna take their spot.
Yeah,
that would be rude of me. But we do have a lot of other great content on this channel. We have Really Scared has returned from the dead. They've done a couple of episodes. You can go check those out on the channel. Spin from the Reel. That whole Schmodown thing that I know nothing about. That's a thing. That's a pretty big show here on the channel.
That's what you used to know about, but
I have no idea what that is anymore. I've given up. I don't care. I'm glad y'all like it. I'm glad it's a big deal, and that show does great on the channel. And I know a lot of people maybe watching are big Schmodown fans. That's great. Awesome. I don't care about the Schmodown, so please don't ask me about Schmodown. But we have a reaction show and a talk show about all things Schmodown at Real Spin from the Reel, right?
Yes,
is that correct?
Spin from the Reel.
Spin from the Reel. I almost said Spin from the Really Scared, but. And then we have Real Geek Core, which is still on hiatus, I believe.
Yes.
We're still waiting on that to come back, which there isn't a whole lot to talk about right now. We got Eternals coming up, so maybe they'll come out of hiding for that. What else? What else am I missing? The wrestling thing. We still doing the wrestling thing?
Yeah, that's Chris's schedule put those two shows on hiatus.
Right.
We're still trying to figure out how to make everything work. Realistically, he and Nick could have done something. Oh no, Nick had a meeting today. Never mind. Yeah, it's been crazy. It's been crazy for them. Real Talk should be coming back sooner rather than later. It's looking like first Sunday of November. Real Talk may be returning. We got all the movie reviews that we've been doing lately, trailer reactions, which we've started picking back up on, and yeah, Real Sports with myself and Colin. What that is. Colin got a big project at work, so that is actually taking a 2-week hiatus. That is only 2 weeks, though. That is confirmed.
Yeah, I should have mentioned off top that we didn't have Colin today. We miss you, Colin. We love you. I know he had a lot of thoughts, but he just couldn't make it today. So hopefully next time. But
being an adult sucks.
It does. It sucks, guys. Kids out there, if you're a kid, stay a kid forever. Like, I'm just telling you now, it's not fun. I know you think it's fun. You think getting your driver's license, right? That's exciting. Oh, I'm 21 to get to drink legally. That's exciting. No, it's not. It's not exciting. Stay a kid. Be a kid forever. Trust me. You'll thank me for it later. But thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like this video. That would be greatly appreciated. Subscribe to the channel. That would also be greatly appreciated. Go back to our old shows. Watch those old episodes, all of the other great content we have on the channel. Please support all of that, and we appreciate your support very, very much. Thank you for watching. We will see y'all sometime. I'm not going to say next week because I always lie. But Saber Reels will be back at some point talking Star Wars because Star Wars is the best thing ever. Thank you for watching. Peace. Much love to you, and may the Force be with you always.